What's good, everybody? Welcome to Sarcasm City TV presents the Walk to the Octagon podcast with myself, LYNDRIK Zayla.
Myself, BEANZ in the building.
Yeah, man. How you doing, BEANZ? You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So this is the first show.
Exciting. First show on that.
Yeah, man. This is going to be amazing. So let's let them know what we're actually talking about. We're going to be here talking about all things MMA.
UFC mainly, but possibly we can go into other franchises as well further down the line if that's what the people want.
Yeah, but and if anyone's interested enough, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. But yeah, we're going to be covering UFC topics, mainly fights, big fights coming up, all the cards, preview show, and a recap show as well, which will be going out on the Sarcasm City network.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it, bro. So
yes,
last week we you and I had a little chat, didn't we, in the group?
Briefly.
About, good old Woodley and Covington.
Yes.
How are you feeling about
that? As we said in the group chat, Woodley's washed up now, isn't he? So
yeah,
he didn't throw his hands. He didn't throw his. That's his style. He's a come forward fighter with obviously a good wrestling base. But since he got beat off Usman, as we was touched on, he's never been the same. So he doesn't attack in the same light anymore.
Nah.
So it was easy. It was easy for Covington. He had a game plan. He stuck to it and he perfected it.
Yeah. It's a shame as well because Covington's one of those guys I just want to see get banged out, bro. Like his mouth is too much, man. He runs away with himself, and I just want to see him get banged out.
Yeah, he just tried to jump on the same wave as like Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
because it works for him.
Yeah, but
that's
it's
what
you can't be turning up to fight Usman wearing a fucking "Make America Great Again" hat and that. Like, come on, bro. Like, what statement?
Let's not get into the political side of it.
Look, that's the reason why
for another
banged out, isn't it?
That's for another show.
But yeah, I think that Usman loss knocked it out of Woodley.
Yeah, 100%. He's never been the same since then.
No.
And obviously, as we've now established, he's got a rap career. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're gonna set him up on a battle rap, innit?
We're gonna try.
Well, don't flop need a jump. They need some help. So why don't we send them Woodley? They'll book him. They seem to book anyone.
I'm not saying nothing.
I'll say it all. I don't care. But yeah, man. So let's get into this card. So you were telling me just about the two females on the card.
Yeah, UFC 253, 253. That is Sunday morning here in the UK. Yeah. Probably by the time the main fight is on, you're looking at 5-6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Decent card, top to bottom. Another good card from Dana. Keeping on that work rate.
He's been doing really well, man. Like, especially in terms of this lockdown thing, he's put on some wicked cards recently.
Yeah, right the way through. The last 10, 12 weeks, I've been watching pretty much every show.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. Even if the guys are not well known, they're putting it all on the line. You know what I mean? There's been some big fights.
I mean, to get Usman and Masvidal to fight for a championship during this time was amazing for me. Because that's true. Was the fight I wanted to see. It wasn't the fight. It wasn't the fight I wanted to see when I watched it.
How it turned out.
Yeah, but it was the fight I wanted to see.
Yeah, you didn't like it, did you?
No, I didn't like it. I think Usman's an amazing fight. He's just boring to watch. And I think the amazing thing about the UFC is it's so exciting, isn't it?
So, okay, elaborate on that. Like, what is it you don't like about Usman's style of fighting?
Watching Usman in UFC, for me, is like watching Mayweather in boxing.
Oh, right, okay.
It's
so
like,
you just like to see like all action.
Take the distance. Let me just stand off and do whatever I can. Let me just hold him against the cage for 3 minutes and make sure. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get it. It's tactical, and you're a genius because you're winning the fight, of course. But it's just when I watch UFC, innit, like I'm probably what they call a casual fan, innit. They'll call me a casual because I really like the excitement of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just want to see a knockout, basically.
Not just a knockout. I just want to see a good fight.
A tear up.
Yeah, because it's like if you watch Nate Diaz fight, you're never gonna see a fight with Nate Diaz really that's boring. It's not gonna be. He's gonna go for a war with you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think it depends with Diaz because some of his fights he'll take it to the ground because he's got good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But you're never bored with him. Like he's still got showmanship with what he does. Do you know what I mean? I've never watched a Nate Diaz fight and been bored, if I'm honest.
Some of his earlier fights.
John Jones, a perfect example. John Jones is technically amazing, but I'm never bored watching his fight. He still entertains me when he's fighting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the edge of the seat in it with John Jones because you just never know. He's capable of pulling out anything. So, but I like Usman as well. I like Usman. I rate him. I like his style. He's got a bit of everything. Well rounded.
I just love.
But yeah, let's.
Anyway, yeah, let's get to this.
It's wild. Yeah.
Tell me about these 2 girls.
2 girls on the card. They're 4th on the card. So you got the prelims, but we'll just skip the prelims. We'll just talk about the main card.
Yeah.
So the first fight is 2 guys. Neither of us, obviously, we've discussed this. We don't know much about, so we'll skip that one. Next on the card is Caitlin Vieira against Sijara Eubanks.
Yeah.
So Vieira has got wins over Kat Zingano.
Okay.
Who is pretty much at the back end of her career in MMA, but she was at one stage like very highly rated.
Yeah.
She had a few losses, but she's still dangerous, carries a lot of power. So to get a win over her, she beat Sarah McCann as well. She's quite a good, tough fighter to beat.
Yeah, she's good.
So yeah, definitely. Records are 11 fights for Vieira, 10 wins, 1 loss. So pretty good record. She's got a solid. Good record. Yeah, she has actually lost to only one person, which is Aldana. I don't know if you've seen her fight. She's pretty. She's awkward. She's very awkward. Yeah, she's very awkward. She's just tough to beat. Durable. You know what I mean? She can take a punch. She's got good defense, and she comes forward quite a lot as well. Right. But that's the only loss of her. Sijara Eubanks is not someone I know much about. I've only seen her a few times, but she's got a good record. Well, she's had 10 fights, 6 wins, 4 losses.
That's all right. Average record.
Yeah, she's won and lost to Aspen Ladd. I don't know if you've seen much of her.
Oh, I've not.
She's like one of the big names that they're claiming that are going to be bigger in that division from America. Yeah. Aspen Ladd. She's good though.
Female fighters, to be fair. So when I heard, in fact, the first time I heard about this Eubanks, I was like, "Oh, is she one of the proper Eubanks?" Like, I was a bit like,
Eubanks. No, I think she's Brazilian from off the top of my head. I'm sure she is, or South American of some kind.
So what are you seeing for this fight then? With knowing the little bits about them, what are you seeing for this fight?
It's a tough fight for this Vieira. I've not seen a fight. I've seen Eubanks fight a couple of times.
Right.
It's a tough fight, but if I just go off the records, I can only see a win for Vieira. But
yeah,
Eubanks is quite a veteran, so she could have a little trick up her sleeve.
Okay. Has she been in other leagues before she was at UFC?
I think Eubanks has been in other organizations. Yeah, pretty sure. Most of them do come through that way. To be fair, from what I know, you know what I mean. They generally start off on the smallest organizations and work their way up when they get a decent record or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, the only 2 I'm most familiar with are Bellator and UFC, obviously. But
yeah, they're the main 2. Yeah. There's probably others I can't think off the top of my head, but there is other organizations definitely. Okay. But they're the 2 big ones.
Yeah. So we're thinking that she's gonna be.
I would say Vieira. Yeah, I would go with her just based on the records. Like I say, we don't know much about either, but I would side with Vieira pretty much.
Well, we'll be tuning in tomorrow, so we'll get to see.
Yes, we will. If anybody is watching or watches this back we are open to any discussion, any advice as well in terms of if you want us to do watch alongs live when the events are on, it can be done. Or any other question, any other like ideas, tips, or anything that you want us to do, anything that you want us to speak about, please just let us know.
Yeah, man. Quick one into the comments.
Fight.
Let's have a few people in. Sam Brown says Woodley was crap.
Woodley was crap. In the Maia fight, the Damien Maia fight. Oh yeah, he got slated for that, didn't he?
Did he?
He got I remember that fight. He got slated off there. Even Dana White was like, "Oh, if he wants to fight again, he better come better than that."
He's too busy falling in and out of love. That's a joke. Man like Big Tox in the building.
Yes, Tox.
Man said,
yeah.
Do you know if you're a superstar, you don't get spoken about on this channel. Superstars only. All right.
We'll be here all night. If we went through the comments as well, we'll be here all night. If we're not the comments, the prelims, we'll be here all night.
Oh my God. 3 hours of.
Big up Tox though. Family.
Man. Make sure you go in there, check Big Tox out. He's got some amazing freestyles. Check his page out at Tox2K20. I think that's right. Go and check him out.
I think that's right. Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for his
Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Reyes fight.
Reyes, yes.
This is what I'm excited for because I quite like Reyes since he fought Jones, because I didn't expect him to do as well as he did against John Jones, if I'm honest.
Oh, did you not?
No, not really, because do you know what it is? John Jones has just got such a reputation for whoever it is, always the hype job, the guy that they're always saying, "Oh, this is going to be the one. This guy's the bad man," and he just cleans them out, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he's had a few. He's had a few tricky fights though in his last probably 3 or 4.
I mean, Gustafsson was a tough fight.
But he couldn't. Yeah. The first fight, that was a war. A lot of people think he lost that, but you got to convince him to beat the champion, and he didn't do that for me.
He lost the Reyes fight as well.
Some people do. I think the 4th and 5th round that was the key to Jones winning that fight.
Yeah,
I actually watched it back. I've watched that back this week, and I also watched Costa as well against Romero. But we'll touch on that when we speak about the Costa fight. But yeah, Reyes done well in that fight. He probably won the first 2 rounds with me. Third round was close.
John Jones took it was almost like he just took too long to work him out.
I think he probably underestimated him a bit as well. You know.
Yeah, he did.
I generally think that.
He definitely did.
But yeah, he was unlucky. But you got to, when you're facing the champion, they always say you've got to convincingly beat them. Yeah. And the last 2 rounds, all Jones done is used his experience.
Yeah.
In title fights, that's all he done.
He made
sure he got the points on the board more than anything. Touched him up.
Those first 3 rounds, he had to beat him in those first 3 rounds because, like, knockout or submission. Because if you let it go the distance with Jones, and he gets you in those last 2 rounds, and he's convincing in those last 2 rounds, you finished.
Pretty much. That's what happened with the Gustafsson fight as well.
Yeah.
But Reyes,
he was on cocaine the week before, wasn't he? He was living some wild lifestyle that first week. Oh my God.
Well, what could you say?
You know what it is? We're gonna have to touch on Jones properly another time because
we will do, definitely.
There's so much to say with him, and especially with him moving up to heavyweight now.
It's going to be interesting.
That's a whole of the ballgame. So Dominic Reyes, what we saying?
Yeah, I think it'll be Jan Blachowicz or Blachowicz, however you want to pronounce it. He's actually gone on a bit of a decent run recently, but I just think Reyes will have too much for him.
Yeah, I took a look at his highlights the other day, and I was like,
Reyes?
No, Blachowicz.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd not seen him fight properly before, and I took a look at his highlights, and he's pretty beastly. It's not going to be an easy fight for Reyes, but I think
no, definitely not.
I think Reyes is going to take it.
Where Blachowicz or Blachowicz, however you pronounce his name, his best chances of winning the fight is for me to get Reyes down to the mat.
Yeah.
For me, because he's got let's have a look here now. He's got quite a lot. He's got 9 submissions on his record.
Yeah.
So that tells you that he's got a good ground game. But I know Reyes is not easy to take down because Jones tried to take him down a few times and he couldn't get him down. He couldn't even. I think he took him down once, but he got up straight back up.
Right.
Like literally straight away in that fight. So he's not easy to take down.
I just feel like Reyes is too heavy-handed as well.
They both are. I've watched his knockouts. Blachowicz.
Yeah.
He's got some good knockouts. He's beat Corey Anderson, but he's been beaten off him as well. He's actually beat Jimmy Manuwa, but he got beat off him as well. So it's a bit.
And was he winning the matches, or was he winning the first one and then?
So I think Anderson, he lost the first one, won the second one.
Right.
And the same with Manuwa as well. But he's also lost to Thiago Santos as well. You know, the big Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
So he has got a few L's on his record, but he's come back and beat 2 of them.
Yeah.
But I think his last 3 or 4 fights, he's knocked out, or he stopped all of them.
I mean, look, he's doing something right because he's in the running to win the championship belt.
Yeah, so. his last fight was Corey Anderson, knocked him out, and John Jones was actually there, ringside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So he would have been next in line to fight Jones. But obviously because Jones has gone up now to heavyweight.
Yeah.
That's why the title's on the line, isn't it?
Yeah, because he left it, didn't he? He said, I don't want it. He said,
vacated.
I think because they made it all about how he wasn't going to get paid enough money to fight the big fight or whatever, and that's why he vacated it. But I reckon it was just the plan for him to go.
Yeah, he said it for a number of years, hasn't he, Jones, that he wants to go up to heavyweight. So there's big fights there for him anyway, big money fights.
At heavyweight, to be fair, like
he probably walks around a bit heavier than what he cuts down to. What is he, 205?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah, and then he probably walks around at what, 230? 225, 230.
He'll walk around.
I'm guessing.
He'll walk around. I'm guessing. Yeah, a 15.
Yeah. That's the only thing it gives away to some of them. Yeah, that's probably the only thing that it gives away to some of those heavyweights is the weight. But that could be to his advantage.
Yeah, in
terms of him moving quicker and things like that, and he's elusive anyway.
Not easy to hit for him if he, depending on whether he's got the strength or not to take some of those big guys down.
No, he should be all right. He's a thingy, isn't he? He's a Greco-Roman wrestler, so
yeah, of course. But I don't know.
Them guys are solid.
It's a tough one with Jones going to heavyweight because he's dominated light heavy. So
yeah, there's nothing left for him. If he wants to continue, he has to go to heavyweight. There's no fights left for him.
He's got to do
something. He's clean that division out.
So what's your either way, winning either way between Reyes and Blachowicz? What's your prediction for Reyes winning the fight, and what's your prediction if Blachowicz wins the fight?
Reyes knockout. I think he'll stop him.
Yeah.
And for Jan Blachowicz to win, probably going to say I think he'll be able to submit him. Just points, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I don't think he'll stop him. But don't rule it out because he does carry power with one punch as well. I've seen, like I said, I've seen those last few fights and he's dropped him and with one punch as well.
UFC, anything can happen at any time, innit? It's like,
especially when you get to like middleweight up, the power there. It only takes one punch to change the whole fight.
Yeah.
What about yourself? You got Reyes or?
I've just got Reyes winning. I've got Reyes winning by knockout.
Points, knockout,
straight out. I just feel like he's got so much power, and he's strong, man. He's just strong, and he can take a shot as well. We saw that against Jones. Do you know what I mean? Jones.
I like how he's
shots, and he's
relentless. Yeah, he's relentless. He's relentless as well. He's always looking to touch you. You know what I mean? That's what I like about him. He comes forward, and he's always looking to throw.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Whether that's just left, right, kick, something. Yeah. He's always looking to, you know what I mean? He keeps the pressure up.
And he seems to always find a pocket as well, which is
Yeah, he sets traps well, doesn't he?
From any angle, it's brilliant.
No, he is. I rate him. I actually rate him. I actually do think he's probably one of the best that's in that division now.
Yeah. The only reason he didn't win that fight and he isn't the champion now is because he fought John Jones. Let's face it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anybody else on that same performance, he would have beat any other light heavyweight, in my opinion.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
Okay, so should we move on to the big one? To the big one.
Yeah, bro.
The big one.
I'm excited. You see that video I sent you in the group today?
Yeah. That was the weigh-in today.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a bit of background, I'd sent Beans a video in our group, and it was of the face-off between Adesanya and Costa. And Costa comes out and he's got his black belt on, and Adesanya's like, "You're a black belt." And Costa brings out this white belt out of his pocket and he throws it at him, and then he's throwing it back, and they're all going on one. But to be fair, Adesanya looked pretty calm to me in that. He looks just ready to have the fight. And I don't see anyone beating Stylebender, if I'm honest. I just don't see it.
I don't think so. No.
I just don't see anyone beating Stylebender. Not at that weight. Not at that weight.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk of him going up into light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But this is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be explosive or it's just going to be boring.
Yeah.
There's not going to be no grey area. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be black or white. It's going to be, they're just going to go for it, swinging.
So
because there is a lot of hatred. There is a lot of hatred. There is a lot of hatred. They don't like each other. They do not like each other. Man.
You can see it. You can see it.
Yeah, it's been building up for a good over a year, because Costa was supposed to fight Adesanya before he fought Whitaker, I think.
Right.
So it's been coming for a long time.
I just don't see Costa taking Adesanya. I just don't see it.
Okay, so what do you think is Costa's best attributes in the fight, in this particular fight?
I think if he gets a good clean shot in, he's got a chance. But it's got to hit him right on the button. Because he's powerful, he's got strength, he can throw it, but Stylebender's defense is just on a million, bro. Like,
he is on another level defensively. He's very, very good, isn't he? He's not easy to hit. He's not easy to hit in the Matrix.
I'm telling you,
he's the Neo of UFC.
I'm telling you, he's just out here dodging bullets, man. And he's so like, he is what I really want MVP to be.
Oh, MVP, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like MVP's got all that showmanship. He's beating guys, but I want him to be as big as that. Do you know what I mean? Especially because he's from the UK. He's a UK fighter. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him in the UFC. I want to see him as a champion there, and I want to see him maybe I want to see him slightly hold back on the showmanship a little bit.
Yeah.
Serious about the fight. Do you know what I mean?
MVP. We need to do a bit of research on him actually to know why, or unless you do know, why is he not actually ever been in the UFC? I'm not too sure.
UFC. I know that he's been moving between UFC, MMA and boxing.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done the boxing.
He's signed to David Hayes promotion boxing.
Haymaker.
Yeah, and
does anybody in the comment who's watching now? Does anybody know why?
Yeah, does anybody know
MVP has not fought in UFC?
Because he's at Bellator, isn't he?
Yeah, Bellator.
Yeah. And
so you only get contracted for so many fights.
Yeah.
When you're in any of these organizations.
One said MVP, but a can crusher. That's true. That is jokes.
No, he is lethal.
Said Stylebender avoided HW due to Jones.
Okay, is that your thoughts? Yeah, Tox.
What you saying, Tox? What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate on that one?
He's basically saying that he avoided going up to light heavyweight because Jones was there.
Right.
That's what he's trying to say. Because that has been spoke of before, to be honest.
He's always calling Jones out, isn't he?
I've heard him call him out before, but it's a whole different. You can call someone out, but then when it comes to the boardroom and the contracts have to be signed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Game, innit?
We'll touch on that a little bit more. But just referring back to the actual fight.
Yeah.
If you look at the records, go ahead.
I don't see Costa winning this fight. I really don't see Costa winning this fight. But I think if he can land that heavy blow, he's got a shot. And I think anyone with that amount of power has got a shot at winning the fight. If you're able to get in, I just don't know how he's going to get in to Stylebender. I just don't see it.
He just has to. He's gonna have to set traps, feints. Do you know what I mean? Move his head, but whether he can actually do that, I'm not too sure. He's shook. He's shook.
You're a troll, bro. You're a troll, bro. Tux is a troll, bro.
Nah, these guys are like, I don't see what he's got to be scared of. Do you know what I mean? The fighters at the end of the day, they're not. I don't see him being scared of John Jones. It would be a difficult fight for him because the weight. What people don't understand sometimes in the UFC, the weight is massive.
Yeah. Do
you know what I'm saying? Like a middleweight in UFC is not the same in boxing.
No.
They're much bigger guys.
Yeah.
So Adesanya probably walks around no more, I would say, because of his frame.
Yeah.
At probably 200 pounds max. I don't even think he'd be that. Yeah, he probably walks around roughly what he fights at.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd have
whereas Jones is probably what, like we just touched on already, 220. 215. It's a big difference. Like he could just literally maul him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only way I think Costa wins is, like you say, if he catches him clean.
Yeah.
The best way for Adesanya to win is to take him into the later rounds.
Yeah.
Because he won't. I watched his last fight this week, Costa's against Romero.
Yeah.
They both gassed out in that fight. It was a 3-round fight as well.
Yeah.
But they both tired in the second round. Well, I think it's because when you're so big like that, there's not much oxygen getting into your body.
Also, if he's training for a 3-round fight, it's going to be different for him training for a 5-round fight.
Yeah, it just how it is. In general, I think, for me personally, when you see those guys that are so ripped like that, there's no oxygen going through. You know what I mean? Because there's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah.
And when they especially if he can, Adesanya moves a lot in the ring as well, so he'll be chasing him around. And that's the best way for him to do. Tire him out.
If Costa's going to be
rounds in
forward, he's going.
Yeah, that's how he fights. Yeah, I don't see he won't be able to stand off Adesanya. He'll get picked apart, so he has to come forward. That's his natural style anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what Adesanya is actually saying. He can't wait. For him to just come forward with his robotic style, with his big square chin hanging out in the air, ready for him to just put one on him.
And his powers, he's unpredictable, man. Like he's very quick. He's unpredictable. He shoots from all angles. He's got power behind him. It's not.
Yeah, I think his power's underestimated. His power's underestimated. I think Costa will probably underestimate Adesanya's power, and that'll be a big mistake because he's dropped Whitaker with one punch. He dropped Gastelum a couple of times, I think, in that fight with one punch. So he's definitely got the power. And he looks kind of skinny, doesn't he? But I'm pretty sure when you face him in the ring, he's much bigger than what you think.
He's got a long reach as well, man, so he can just hold him off.
Yeah, that's how he beat Romero, actually. Yeah. He just I don't understand what Romero was doing in that fight, but because he just literally stood there like this the whole time.
I don't understand what Romero was doing.
He didn't do anything for me in that fight. I think he caught him once, and it was a clean shot as well, and he took it. But other than that, he just touched him up in that fight, because they got booed quite a lot, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Adesanya just literally.
These guys are something else, man. The way they fight is unreal, man.
Like, yeah, these are like the elite guys, isn't it? These are the elite guys.
But I look at some of these guys and think it's a good job that they're fighters, because if, like, Conor McGregor, yeah, Conor McGregor would be doing 3 life sentences if he wasn't a fighter. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you look at some of them and the way they are, and you just think the way they bang down man in the ring is like, nah. You'd be doing jail time. If you were out on the streets, bro, and you didn't have a discipline like this, you'd be crazy.
More than likely, because that's a lot of them that come from those kind of environments, innit?
Yeah.
From the streets and that. So obviously the MMA, boxing, all them kind of contact, all those kind of sports to give you a discipline.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know structure, routine.
What you're learning to do is turn your body into a weapon. So
pretty much
know how to use that to the point where mentally you can handle pulling back. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you can kill someone. You can kill someone. We've seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah, for real. It's true though. Definitely. So, any other comments coming yet? Nothing.
We've got one here.
All right. Costa's got no reach.
Got no reach. 72 inches. If I recall, Adesanya was like 84 or something crazy. You see that? It's like the ratio is massive, bro. Even if we're talking boxing alone, even 2 inches more in reach is a big difference. Do you know what I mean?
You can use it, definitely, but you can also get past reach. But the only way Costa can get past that is, like I say, something that you don't really see in UFC anyway. Often is head movement. You don't really see them do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you very rarely see them with good head movement.
Yeah.
Adesanya's got it. You know what I mean? Adesanya's definitely got, but it's not just his head; it's his whole body.
He's a different beast. He dances in the ring, man.
Yeah, because I don't think they really they don't focus on. It's not the same. Like, it's not boxing. Do you know what I mean? It's they have a different stance anyway. They have different technique in how they throw the punch. So
yeah, it's not, because even when they talk about their boxing ability, it never looks the same. It's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, Conor McGregor doesn't throw a punch like a boxer, although he's got great boxing ability. When you watch Mayweather,
I think a lot of the time it's the stance as well. They don't stand in the same traditional boxing stance.
Yeah,
because they can't really.
No.
Most of the time, because you got to watch for your legs being kicked, takedowns, all them kind of things. So whereas in boxing, it's literally just plant your feet, and you can. That's all you need to focus on is hands. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think Costa can. I don't think the reach will be a major problem, because, like I say, he can get inside.
Yeah, but it depends how Adesanya uses his defense. It depends on how
Adesanya don't really got.
Watch the tapes. Yeah, let me just bring STRO in. Man, like STRO, what you saying, bro?
Yes, STRO.
What you saying?
Oh, you good, bro.
Yeah, I've just been watching, man. Enjoying it.
What have you been watching?
What are you saying about Adesanya, STRO?
This will be his toughest fight.
Do you think?
Yeah. 100%. This is stylistically, it's not what people. So when you look at it on the surface, you just think counter puncher. Costa has to come forward because of the lack of reach.
Yeah.
The problem with that is Costa's not just, he doesn't just walk down blind alleys. He's very technical.
Yeah.
This will be one of the. For one, I think it will be an unbelievable fight, but this will be a chess match, and this is where you really see that both of them have got the fight IQ, which is the reason why they're going for the title. The thing is, you look at what Costa did to Romero. Did he gas out? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. They both did, I think, though.
You never see anyone walk Yoel Romero down like that.
Yeah.
You will never see that. There's a reason.
No, that's
for
true.
That.
That's actually true.
Costa's a different level, and it's like Izzy's got heavy hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I think people are sleeping on, you know. I don't think they appreciate how powerful his shots are. Because like I was saying to LYNDRIK's, he's dropped some of those guys that are at the elite level with one punch.
Yeah.
This is what I mean, though. If you look at it's the Conor McGregor effect, and what Conor said, it's not always about power. It's timing. It's accuracy. Timing is more important than anything.
Yeah, definitely.
But the problem is I've seen Costa get hit with some massive punches, and he's just like the Terminator. He just walks through it. So if Costa's going to win, it'll be within the first 2 rounds. Izzy needs to be careful.
But like Beans was saying before, do you think Adesanya's power is underrated?
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, it's like.
And do you think that he's got enough power to stop Costa?
I wouldn't say enough power to stop him.
Yeah.
What I would say is we've seen it before in fights where he gets a certain amount of damage, he gasses out, he gets hit, there's nothing left in the tank, and then it finishes from a TKO. I can see that happening more than a 1-punch knockout.
Yeah, that's what I think. If Adesanya beats Costa by stoppage, it will be by a combination of, do you know what I mean? It'll be a combination of whatever, punches, knees, something. It won't be just one punch.
It's going to be over time. He's beating him down, and then they're going.
Yeah.
Take enough. He can't take any more. I mean,
see,
it'll be something like that.
I've already put my bets on.
So what are you betting on?
No, I've put Costa in the first 2 just because it's an underdog game.
Yeah,
as well, and then Izzy in the 4th.
Okay, stoppage, TKO.
Yeah.
All right, let's run it back to the.
Is there a possibility of it going the distance?
Yeah, there's always a possibility. It's just if you look at the statistics and you look at Izzy's reach, he's a counter puncher that plays directly into his hand, which means Costa's got to go forward.
Yeah.
The humidity is a big thing because let's not forget it's in Abu Dhabi. Costa's a big boy. Let's not underestimate that. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
So it's like, fair enough, the whole venue's going to be air conditioned, but it's still going to be humid. Like, come on, we've all been on holiday. We've been in air conditioned place, and it's still humid.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that's gonna take account into it. And obviously, the flight, they've only just got there this week. There's a lot of stuff which your average fan doesn't take into account when you think of a UFC card or just a standard MMA card. And I think there's always a possibility to go to the distance. Me personally, I think if it's going to end early, it's Costa. If it ends early or late, it's Izzy.
That's my thoughts on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Definitely. Early stoppage, it'll be Costa.
Like Beans asked me, what's Costa's biggest asset in this fight for you?
2, his combinations, phenomenal. His
Oh, we lost.
He's gone.
All right, when he comes back, we'll.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened then. Obviously he's got big power, but his combinations are unbelievable.
Right.
But more to the point, his shot selection is unbelievable. When you watch him, he picks the right shots at the right times, and you can tell he's got legit hands. And just the way he'll walk you down, he doesn't just walk you down. He's cornering you without you even realizing. So when he's walking you down, he's cutting off angles in the octagon. So he's moving you to what position he wants to put you in, so he can land his shots. Which is where it gets interesting, because Izzy wants you to walk him down because he's a counter puncher. So it's like, this is what I was saying, why this will be the chess game, is how Costa's going to maneuver his body to try and walk Izzy down, and how Izzy's going to move out of it and try and land his shots. So yeah, I can see the first round being very cagey.
Yeah. And
they're just going to feel each other out. Second round is what I was saying. If it's going to end, it'll be in the second round for me, Costa, because at that point it's just going to come out all guns blazing. Like you've both said earlier, when you're fighting the champion, you can't leave it to the judges. You have to take it out of the judges' hands.
You've got to go. Yeah, you've got to go for it. Do you think that Costa might fight on emotion, though? Possibly, just because of the animosity. I don't think Adesanya will, because I think that's some of his tactics trying to get into his head, because he's already fought at like championship level a few times. So he's trying to get under Costa's skin, which he does seem like he has a little bit for me in the build up to this. So if he fights on emotion, it could go way out of his favor.
I've got a different take. There's zero animosity.
Oh, don't you think? You think it's just for the You think it's just for the hype?
Have you not seen the video of them outside the hotel hugging each other and talking about each other's weight?
No, I didn't actually. I've seen the finger, but I've not actually watched it. I've seen the actual. The thing is,
the thing is, it's like, is the competitiveness? Yeah. Is there a case of you want to take everything I've worked for? Yeah. So there's going to be a slight animosity, which I completely understand. But this is not the ultimate grudge match. This isn't a John Jones and Cormier. This isn't a
it's not that level.
So this is more of a competitive thing, and it's like Costa will naturally fight an emotion because he's fighting for a title for the first time, the first UFC title. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think he'd go all guns blazing unless he genuinely thinks at that point he's got Izzy rocked and I need to finish the fight now.
Yeah, and what about Adesanya? How do you think he just fights his normal type of fight, or do you think he needs to bring something extra to the game?
The problem is you can't fight your normal fight with Costa. You can't. It's impossible. He's a fighter which you're going to struggle to get training partners and sparring partners that move like him, that are built like him, that have got a tank like him, who can go that hard in the first 2 rounds and it just make your life hell. And that's the problem. Izzy's fight IQ's out of this world. Like, let's not get it mistaken. His defense is it's unreal, especially in that division. But and when I say this, he will have his hands full, because the combinations that Costa can throw, the way that Costa can move his body, the way that he'll walk you down, not just walk you down like you're walking down a blind alley, he will walk you down in such a clever way, kind of like Conor McGregor. When Conor walks you down, he wants you to maneuver so you go directly into his left hand. Costa does that a lot.
Yeah, it's educated pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what I mean. And he cuts the octagon off. He's just cutting the octagon off constantly. And then that's where it gets interesting, is can Izzy land the shots to be the counter striker? And then what happens from there? So yeah, it's going to be fascinating. But no, Izzy will adapt his game plan. He's naturally a counter striker, so he will adapt it slightly. He won't adapt it much, but yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal fight.
Yeah. Okay, but you got who you siding with then, Adesanya, or you just got it early Costa and late Adesanya?
I'm saying Izzy, but if there's going to be one fight that will shock everyone, it wouldn't surprise me if it was this one.
Right.
No, I hear you. All right, and then just rolling it back to the other one, the
Reyes fight.
The Reyes fight, because that's for the title as well.
Yeah.
Who you got in that one, Reyes or Jan Blachowicz?
I've been going back and forth with this for a few days. The problem is, everyone looks at the Reyes fight against Jones. Did he do well? Yeah. Did he arguably win the fight? Yeah. But the problem is Jones has got his head set on other ventures. Jones wants heavyweight, and we've known that for a while. Jones, I mean, imagine clearing the division out for the number of years that you have, and they keep throwing talent at you, they keep throwing next contenders at you, and you know you're 10, 15 times the fighter that they are. And it's like, Jones made it more difficult for himself than it needed to be. Don't get me wrong. I rate Reyes' ability is technically unbelievable. He's so good on his feet. He's so well rounded. But it's like, if John Jones fought the way he fought against Cormier or Gustafsson Part 2, it's over within 2-3 rounds. Like, let's be honest. Jones is the greatest. Yeah. Like,
when he puts it on.
His skill set, he's the most skilled I've ever seen in the UFC. Yeah. And there's no
one without a doubt. Yeah,
because he can do everything. You can do wrestling, all right, I'm going to beat you at wrestling. You can do submissions, all right, I'm going to submit you. You can do knockouts, all right, sweet, I'll knock you out. Like, there's no one that is that well rounded. So it frustrated me watching it, because it's like, is it because then you start asking questions. Is it a tired John Jones? Is it a John Jones that's just coming to the end of his peak? Is it a John Jones that's got his mind elsewhere? We won't find that out until he goes up to heavyweight. Saying that though, it's the problem Jan's got is he's quite one-dimensional. He's got power. If he hits you like he hit Rock Cold, it's night-night. Reyes is more.
And
Yeah,
Anderson. You see the knockout that he had, Corey Anderson as well.
But this is what I mean, though. It's like when you start going up to number 2 ranked guys, number 3 ranked guys, number 4 ranked guys, is you will get found out if you're one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised if this is an absolute beatdown.
Do you think he can take him down? Do you think he can take Reyes down?
He'll try.
I think that's his best way of winning the fight because of the fact that he's good. He's got good submissions.
Yeah,
he's got like 9 on his record, and they're all against like credible guys. But I know Reyes is difficult to take down.
Yeah, Reyes is not easy to take down, and the thing is as well. I was going to say, STRO, coming into the power thing as well. Reyes has got a good chin as well. He can take. If he's like you say, if he's one-dimensional and he's only really got his power to lean on, and Reyes can take the shot, it's like you say, it's a beatdown for.
The problem is here's the thing. It's you look at Ngannou when he first came into the heavyweight division. He was the most one-dimensional fighter ever, but that one-dimensional was mind-blowing. Like if he hit you, you were going sleep. You weren't getting up for a matter of hours. I mean, look what he did
equivalent of. Go on.
What is it? No, I was saying, look what he did to Overeem. Look what he did to. I mean, gee, honestly, some of the fights, and it's just like so. Jan's got that in his. This is what I mean. It's if it's one-dimensional, your one-dimensional has got to be out of this world. Jan's got heavy hands, but it's not out of this world. Whereas if you look at Reyes, he's got all the fundamentals. He can do everything very, very well. So it's like Jan's best hope is to do what he did with Rockhold, get in, dirty fight, dirty boxing, get in his guard, make it nasty, make it uncomfortable for Reyes. Don't let him settle. Don't let him get into a rhythm. Don't let him get into a game plan, and then you hit him, and then you can catch him off guard. That's his best opportunity. And yeah,
the thing what I like about Reyes as well is because he's not even been fighting that long. Is it? Didn't he come from? He got cut. He got cut, didn't he? From the. Well, he didn't make the cut in the NFL. Something like that. Because I'm sure that was his main sort of sport growing up.
But he's not even. He's skilled and he's done well very quickly.
That's what I mean. He's come in and just hit the ground running.
Battered,
top level straight away.
Yeah, guys. There's a comment here that caught my eye, and I just wanted to see what your thoughts on this was, STRO, and you, Beans. Jones' skill set hasn't grown in years. His offensive wrestling has actually regressed. Jackson Wink just isn't a top-tier gym anymore. The game moved on. About that.
Go on, STRO. I'll let you answer.
There's some aspects of it are true. Jackson Winklejohn as a gym is they lost Cerrone, they lost Sanchez, they lost a lot of the big hitters. Overeem was there at one point, Brendan Sharp was there at one point. They had big hitters there, and they stopped just letting anyone in. So it was known where anyone could train. And obviously that was the problem is if you're training, and for example, if you're John Jones, it's why am I going to be training with just any random person off the street? Like, how does that make any sense? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how's that going to help me progress? And then obviously they changed the philosophy, they changed the system, and I agree with regards to the gym. But the problem is when you've got those two minds specifically, they are two of the best coaches you will ever find in MMA.
Yeah,
you've got hands down.
Like they're just absolutely insane the way they analyze the fight, the things that they notice, and it's like, for example, best way I can put it to you, Cormier, John Jones, when he knocks him out with a head kick, a lot of you just think it's a good head kick. No, if you watch Cormier, you see whenever he throws, he naturally dips his head.
Yeah. I knew you was gonna say that.
So that's been analysed by them two, right? They've seen it, they've then worked on it. The timing of that has got to be perfect. So to say that his offensive wrestling has regressed and stuff like that, the thing is he doesn't have to go to his offensive wrestling that much anymore because he can do everything else.
Yeah.
So although it might look like he's lowering his standards in one aspect of his game, his fight IQ is through the roof. He doesn't need to do that because he can find another way to beat you.
Yeah.
So although it looks like that's not doing that well, if you look at his overall game, he's still improving in certain aspects, which is scary.
Yeah. And that's how he beat Gustafsson anyway in the second fight. In the end, he took him down.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's only a couple of fights ago.
I mean, for me, with Jones going to heavyweight, because I kind of agree with you, Stro. I think he's got to the point where he's almost bored of fighting these fighters in light heavyweight. I just hope to see that hungry, explosive John Jones at heavyweight. Because if he's like that, like he used to fight at heavyweight, because he's excited again and he's out here throwing spinning elbows and all this shit, like that's an exciting John Jones. And that could be a problem in the heavyweight division. That could be a problem for heavyweight.
Yeah. Here's a question for you then, both of you.
Go on.
Who do you put him in with for his first fight? Do you go put him straight in for the title, or do you give him like a top 5 contender, or the number 1 or number 2 contender, or you just put him straight in with Miocic?
I wouldn't put him straight in for the chat. For me, he's still, even though he's a champion or was a champion, he's still got to prove himself in the heavyweight division. I think there's too many good heavyweights in front of him.
All right then. What about you, Stro?
I think he's gonna. I think he wants to fight Ngannou anyway. That's what he said, wasn't it? He said he wanted to fight Ngannou.
Okay.
That's what he wanted.
Put him in with Brock, or you put him with Ngannou?
First fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets rid of Brock easy. First round.
Brock's got no.
just because he's old now, innit? He would not have the same anything. Do you know what I mean? He just won't have it now.
Well, the thing is, he's out of contract with the WWE now, so it looks like
he will end
up coming back. Yeah, so he will end up coming back to the UFC at some point. That's Daniel Cormier's dream fight. If you're John Jones, you know for a fact you want to take that just to be petty. So that's why I said Brock, because I know what he's like. Whereas he wants
for real. No, that's true though.
So
was he just being salty because he lost to Stipe?
No, he was always retiring. The problem is he knew John was coming up to heavyweight. He already lost the guy at heavyweight.
That's just the guy he can't beat.
To John Jones at heavyweight.
Is he losing to John Jones at heavyweight?
Yeah. Do you know when someone just got your number and you just can't beat them? That's what it is with them two. He just doesn't have anything in his artillery.
Yeah. And Cormier, do you know it's funny though? Because Cormier always.
And Cormier is good, you know. Cormier is good. I think sometimes people underestimate how good he has actually been because of the fact that he's always been in John Jones's like shadow, so to speak.
Cormier is great, but it's like when he goes at Jones, he always talks the most. And Jones always.
I think it's just both ways as well, you know. Both ways. It's just that because Cormier's got a bigger platform in terms of he's always he's one of the pundits, isn't he, on UFC? That's why it probably comes across that he's the
thing is, there's when it comes to the fighting style and them as athletes, they respect each other. As men, they despise each other. Because there's so much that's been said between them. There's so much that's gone on between them. And UFC 200 is the prime example.
He's the family man, isn't he? So he's like, Cormier hates that about John Jones. He hates it.
What did you say?
Morals. No, I was saying like they've got different morals and they've got different beliefs in certain things. And you look at UFC 200 for prime example. that was Daniel Cormier's big pay-per-view moment. He was just getting the pay-per-view points. That would have been a sellout. And what happens? John gets popped. So then that gets taken away from him. And then everyone remembers UFC 200 for that absolute shit show that was him and Anderson Silva.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, so he's never, there's always something between them. But yeah, Jones at heavyweight is a nightmare because the problem you've got is, one, you will see him a lot more calculated. When it's time to show off, he'll show off. But there's no one in the heavyweight division that's got a skill set like John Jones. And that's the scary thing. I love Stipe. I think Stipe is an unbelievable fighter. I think John Jones would stylistically cause him nightmares.
No, he would. He would.
Getting popped. Does that take away anything he's achieved?
Not for me. Not for me.
His skill set.
Yeah.
And you don't get that skill set through steroids. You can't. But
all that really does, it just enhances you to train more, and you know what I mean. Instead of you giving up after 20 minutes, you've got another 20 minutes in you.
What he actually got popped for is something that's historically known in the black market with bodybuilders and weightlifters.
Right.
So that's essentially the first thing that he got popped for. Now, the issues that he kept having was they were finding micro fragments in his results.
Yeah.
But the problem is obviously you've seen Jeff Nowitzki, you've seen USADA and all that mess where they banned him and then they had to apologise and all of the nonsense, and is for some reason it keeps reoccurring in his tests. Now, I don't think John Jones is stupid enough to keep popping it. Like, let's be honest, he's not. But
for real.
The thing is, it's like, I'd say I can understand if someone was to say but we're talking about the same man that was partying when he beat Gustafsson.
Yeah.
And you're partying with something which isn't going to help you in that fight.
Yeah.
And you still won the fight.
Yeah. And you're spending a whole weekend doing cocaine and you're coming in and winning the fight.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it takes anything. I don't think it takes anything away from his legacy whatsoever. Not for me personally, anyway.
I think it's just a shame, and the thing is as well,
you're always going to get people that throw that back at him. Always.
They're always going to say it, but I just hope he doesn't get popped for anything at heavyweight, because I want him to have a clean slate at heavyweight. I really do, because John Jones is my favorite fighter. I think he's incredible. The two Joneses are my favorites. John Jones in boxing, in UFC, and Roy Jones in boxing. They're my two favorite fighters. Do you know what I mean? And I just, I don't want to see that happen to him when he goes up to heavyweight. I really don't.
Well, to be fair, when he goes up to heavyweight, he's not going to have to cut much. He walks around at 240, 245.
Yeah.
So he's a big boy. So it's like,
is he that big? Yeah.
Yeah, like because of his bodybuilding, his weightlifting, like he's trained his body to.
Yeah.
Which is
I thought it
another
would be
reason why.
probably like 220, 225, but 245, that's big.
Yeah,
So,
about 240. I've seen him.
Brother of an NFL player.
Yeah, Chandler. I love Chandler Jones. Arizona Cardinals love Chandler Jones. His other brothers are. His two brothers are NFL players. So one of it, obviously, Chandler came from New England, and now he's at Arizona. I can't remember where. I swear he's at Washington, or I know at one point he was potentially at Baltimore. But yeah, like, I love Chandler Jones. Love Chandler Jones.
Awesome. Well, guys, listen, we're going to wrap it up. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Stro, do you want to give your social medias? Let them out, Stro.
From a Third Eye View, make sure you go watch that. Last episode was out on Monday. Pi Radio, go follow From a Third Eye View on Instagram.
Big shout out to JV, Flawless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my Gunners, man. And then, Ryan Wayman AWF on Twitter.
Wicked, man. Beans, let them know, bro.
Instagram, Beans8207. Twitter, I have no idea. I think it's at D_Edwards1.
We'll put it in the Facebook, and we'll put it in.
Yeah, we'll put it in there, because I've literally just got my Twitter like 2 weeks ago, only because of Flawless. And
yeah,
does he happen to do it for this? Just I'm going to use it for like networking and that, literally plugging this, because other than that, I don't even like Twitter.
I get it. Guys, my Instagram and Twitter is at I am LYNDRIK Zayla. You can hit me up at that. Brand new single out now as well. Get to know you on all platforms. So go check that out. Thank you so much, Beans and STRO, for coming in. Thank you so much to the Sarcasm City TV team for having us. Appreciate you lot, man. And
make sure you go watch the show, Sarcasm City, Sunday, 7 o'clock.
We're going to come in on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, for the recap.
Tuesday
or Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, yeah. We're going with Tuesday.
Yeah, you are?
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do Tuesday. STRO, is that good with you? Tuesday? Right, people. We'll be back Tuesday. We'll make sure we see you on the gram. We'll be posting it up. So if you want to catch the link, make sure you check us out on Instagram. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bless.
Love.